All right, so files insert final new line. When enabled, insert a final new line at the end of the file when saving it. So what's the deal with this? And the deal, there's several reasons for why you should have a new line at the end of the file, but I'm just going to give you two. The first one is the definition of a line. So the definition of a line is a sequence of 0 or more characters that ends in a new line, right? So if the end of the file doesn't have a new line, right? So if you're here and this line does not terminate with a new line, it's not actually following the definition of a line, and this causes trouble for a lot of programs, actually, some compilers and preprocessors and things like that. Whoops. But that's not all. There's another reason why it's a good idea to have final new lines, which is when you're concatenating files. If you end a file with something like this, let's just give you, there's several examples of this, but let's say you have a JavaScript file that does stuff, and then let's say you don't add a new line. Well, actually, let's end the file with a comment, and let's not add a new line, right? So this is the file, the last line does not end with a new line, right? And let's say you want to concatenate this with some other constant. Right? And you have more code in this file. What happens when you concatenate these two? Because you don't have a new line here, right? When you concatenate the two files, you just take this code and you're going to replace it immediately in front of the last character in the file, which means that you will completely break the code. If you do have a new line, however, this concatenation would work perfectly fine, right? So this is another reason why you should have a new line at the end of the file, because that makes it so that the last line is actually following the correct definition of a new line, of a line, which is, it has a /n, which means a line feed at the end of that. So if I can find the setting again. So it's a good idea to have a final new line. So I don't know, is this enabled? This is disabled by default. I don't think it should. You should enable this option and make sure that you insert a final new line at the end of each file. And now VS Code, when I save this file, will automatically insert that new line there, making sure that this line here actually follows the definition, the correct definition of what a line is.